What's good, y'all? I'm Bobby from Alpha Dome Podcast.
I'm Doggy.
I'm Aman.
We have special guests with us today. Introduce yourselves.
I'm BK.
And I'm Vale.
This is a special episode, as y'all probably gonna be seeing this on Valentine's Day, the month of love, the day of love. And we brought two of our special guests, our dear friends, BK and Vale.
Our favorites.
Definitely, by far.
We love you guys.
Soon to be
Married, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's true.
So how y'all been?
It's been good. Wedding season, planning. It's just what it is. A little stressful, but yet we are very grateful because we've seen the Lord provide a lot. So
Even before the wedding, how was y'all week?
it was good. I mean, work. We don't have school, so.
Yeah, we're done.
They graduated.
Yeah, we don't know about that life anymore.
It was an eventful year.
It was.
It
Last
was
2022 was
graduation,
very
proposal,
eventful. Yeah.
and then preparing for the wedding,
Yes.
starting new jobs.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Trust me.
That's what I'm telling you. God is
That
so
was
good.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the worst time for me, at least, was between May to June. I did not get any,
Sleep.
not even an ounce of sleep. Yeah,
Wow.
if we can use that measurement.
Sacrifice right there.
Yeah, no, bro. May was filled with final exams. You guys know that.
Yeah.
So final exams was there, and then June was the month of proposal. So looking for the venue.
We were all there.
Yeah, we remember that. It was a special day.
But also planning for her graduation party as
Yeah.
well. And then also knowing that after we graduate, we're going to look for jobs because, I didn't want to work at Mod. God bless Mod, honestly. They've helped me, I got my card and everything because of that and everything. But also, it was a stressful time between May and June.
Yeah.
But
Before we move any further, the purpose of this episode, BK and Vale are a very special, dear couple to us, friends to us, and they've kind of modeled what it is to be in a relationship, especially a godly one of God-centered. So I guess.
Wait, before that, could we introduce themselves as individuals?
I was
Oh my bad, I'm sorry.
No, I was about to give him
I'm gonna jump right into it.
You had a Kanye moment, bro. No, but look, the purpose of this episode is, they're going to give you advice, speak about themselves a little bit, and, just tell y'all the ins and outs of the relationship, the downs, the ups, the whole experience in general. But before all that, introduce yourselves intimately.
yeah, ladies first. Go ahead, baby.
Okay. Thank you so much. I grew up in a small country in Central America named El Salvador. And I came to the United States when I was 15. And I went to Wheaton High School first for my. Yeah, it was bad.
That's in California. Down the street.
No, I moved. Oh my gosh. It's okay. For my freshman year, and then for my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I went to Blair High School.
Yeah.
And
That's also
yeah.
down
Yeah.
down south. Yeah.
They're all in
Down
the
south.
same general area.
yeah.
Orange County.
The Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Orange County,
exactly.
yeah.
And then that's where I met the love of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm very happy for you guys.
No, definitely.
Carry on.
As for me, I came here when I was 13. I came to Tacoma Park Middle School. Yeah, so I met
California.
you. Yeah. And I met your sister as well, TT, there. And graduated, went to Montgomery Blair High School. So that's basically it. Besides that, I moved here to. I can't give my address.
At this point,
This California.
Do you guys want to know how old we are too, or?
Huh?
they don't need to.
It's okay. No, they about to get it. They about to get
Okay.
married. That's all y'all gotta know.
You can't say it.
What do you mean?
No.
I
Unless you can.
am 23, about to be 24.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Why y'all clapping?
Why did y'all follow me?
Like
Why'd y'all come after me, clapping?
And yeah.
Yeah, I'm 23, about to turn 24 as well.
When though? When?
Nah, I can't.
Because I'm
Months
older.
older.
I'm older than him.
How many is that? 5?
4
4.
to be exact.
I mean, going forward, I guess, BK, I wanted you to tell a story, like, briefly, like, how you approached Valeria, and, like, how did y'all actually, like...
Wow, yeah.
Your first
Interaction.
reaction. Yeah, interaction.
The footprint of our relationship
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I had met her, I had a best friend named Lydia. She and I were very close, and she used to be part of the softball team as well. And when she was in softball, softball.
He's like, what's softball?
It's like,
yeah,
baseball,
but the
indoors,
ball is softer.
I mean, they
Yeah.
can do that too, yeah. But there was a guy that came to their game, and he had harassed some of the girls. Not like
Verbally.
physically, but verbally, yeah. And I heard about it from Lydia, and I was like, what is going on? Like, what happened? She was like, yeah, he did this, all that stuff. So it was for a quick, maybe at most 20 seconds.
Yeah.
In 11th grade, she was going in
The cafeteria.
to the cafeteria, and I was going out.
Remember
And
that. They remember that.
I-
No, I really do. Yeah.
I don't yeah, no, it is so like I can
I
picture
know.
it right now.
I even like you were carrying a tray.
Hey, yeah.
It was a brown, and then it had like the
What food?
potatoes.
What was it?
It was potatoes.
Yeah,
It
what was he wearing that
potatoes.
day?
I don't remember that at all.
That's crazy. Yeah, no.
I do, but I do remember.
Yeah, and I was just headed out with Lydia. I was just gonna go out, and I looked at it. She looked pretty, you know. I couldn't deny that. But I was like, should I say something? Should I not? You know, I was hesitant. But at the end, I was like,
You just like me for real.
but at the end, I was like, hey, I just want to say on behalf of that guy, I'm sorry. That's not an excusable behavior. That's really bad. And she was like, go ahead, what you say?
Yeah, mind you, we've never talked before.
Ever.
Ever.
I've never even told her my name.
This guy's a superhero, bro.
No, I know, but like, he was like, you know? And then I was just like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, you know, like, if it was nice, because I think it was like, yeah, you say, on behalf of that guy, and
Yeah.
I feel like that was
She
that
doesn't
was
know my
nice.
name. I don't know her name or anything. But I knew she
Yeah.
was close to my best friend at that time. So I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? And that's how we first saw each other, ever. And we didn't really actually get to engage in any
We never saw
conversation
each other ever again.
until the next
after
year,
12
school
years.
year.
Oh, a whole full year?
Yeah, full year.
Yeah.
I did not know her. She did not know me. I would see her sitting in the library with a bunch of girls around her. That's it. That's the most I would know. But 12th grade, thank God, we had pre-calc together. Yeah, and actually that year I was going to take, it was this different algebra class which had to do like lifestyle, like doing taxes.
Oh, quant lit?
Yeah, quant lit, yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna take that because I wanted to do taxes and stuff. You know, I was like, you know, in the future, you know, when I'm the man of the house, I need to know all these things. So I was like, yeah.
Thinking ahead.
Yeah, no. But I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna take pre-calc. And I knew that was God because the moment I got there, I saw her. I knew who she was, but I had other friends that I was close to as well.
Did you sit next to her, or was it like...
Nah, no, we didn't sit. She was like over on the left side. I was on the
We
right
were very
side.
far away.
And she would sit usually in the back as well, and I would sit on the far right back. It was one of those portable
Don't
classes.
get me started with those portable
I think it was
classes,
P2, P1. If you guys are around, you guys can see the museum. No, but it was. We were just sitting there, and our mutual friends were also close to her. So I think I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna let her speak on the rest of the part and how we actually.
Yeah, so, and then like, the teacher, he was like, the teacher, like, he, one morning, because it was like the first class on our odd days, I believe. And he was like, you guys are talking too much, so we're just gonna start seating you guys in alphabetical order, right?
Yeah.
So his last name is Belay, mine is Alvarez. So there was like another guy, I don't remember who the guy was, and then Bereket, and then me, and then somebody else. So I remember that we were both very shy. But then I was like, oh, so you're Lydia's friend, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what's your name? And he was like, Bereket. And I couldn't pronounce it because, mind you, it was the first time I've heard of like a name Bereket like that. So I was just like, right? And he was like, you can call me BK. And I was like, oh, okay, BK.
You can
So
call me BK. She's sorry.
oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, El Ruth. carry on.
Oh
Sorry.
my god.
Yeah.
No, and then like after that, like every odd day we would sit together.
Yeah.
And that's how we started like conversating. He will help me a lot because I'm bad with numbers. Horrible. So it's like he would like really take his time, you know what I mean, to help me. So that's one of the things that I really liked. That we weren't even like friends like that, but he still took like he cared, you know what I mean, and stuff. And then after that, I feel like we just.
No, you missed out the big part. I
What?
used to be late.
Oh yeah, he used to be late. Oh my
Extremely late.
gosh.
I think that's one of the reasons why we actually interacted too. One of the conversations that we've had.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, you know, you missed this.
You know, one time he didn't come to school at all. And I was like so sad.
She remembers that, y'all.
Yeah, no, but I was
We don't
like,
want to talk
so
about those
sad.
days, you know?
Yeah.
Those days.
I know, but I was like so sad, and I remember like I was like, should I? We used Snapchat to communicate with each other.
Yeah, we did.
Some people still have the app to this day, actually.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're not gonna start pointing fingers, but it's okay.
And yeah, and I remember like I sent him a snap, and I was like, hey, so is everything okay? Like, where did you miss class today? Like, you know,
Right.
how are you?
Yeah.
And I don't remember what you said, but I just remember.
It was two yolks. I don't know if you guys ever seen those filters. Where, like it's two eggs like together on a pan.
No, that's like that was like.
He remembers what
you're,
emoji
like,
he
mixing
used.
up
Oh,
together.
okay. Yeah, I think I'm getting ahead. But
And
yeah.
that's okay.
But that was basically it. I was the late kid. She was frustrated with math. We clicked.
And then we would just had like a club together,
Red
and
Cross Club.
yeah, and I remember I used to work a lot, like almost 40 hours every week in high school, so it was
Wow.
very.
She was a hustler, bro.
But it was horrible. So the point is that like one time I got to school and we were in the club, and out of even all my friends, he was the only one that mind you, like we are not even like tight like that. Like he was just like hi, bye, acquaintances, right? And I was in the club.
Wait. Why were we high by acquaintances?
Huh?
Why were we high by?
Great question. Great question.
Wait, let's
He's
bring
asking
it
the
up,
important
baby.
questions.
Wait, what do you mean?
You're not a man.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that.
He dropped the bombshell.
It's a lie. It was a lie. How many times do I have
plot
to say
twist.
that? Oh my god.
We did
Okay,
not
yes,
expect that.
I do admit it. I lied because I wanted to see his reaction. I just wanted to
Wait,
see.
hold up. Okay, that's another topic.
Hey, put a pin
I
on
don't
that.
recommend it. Don't do that.
put a
Like,
pin on
don't- it's not the best thing.
Because
Okay.
most girls say I have a boyfriend to say they're not interested.
Yeah.
But you did it
Facts.
so he could get, I guess, more.
I just wanted to see like it's good. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because he had a certain ex that was still following him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Following him
You knew that?
Like around everywhere he would go,
Okay.
she was there. You know what I mean? So I thought that they were still dating. You know? So
Okay.
it
You
wasn't
didn't know.
clear. It wasn't clear to me.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. I thought that was like the best thing to do at that time, just to like see if he would like also open up with me. Bad, but at the same time, I just did it because I just wanted to see his reaction. You
Right.
know, I told him that he plays soccer, that he was part of this league and everything. He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I don't know. I
Oh,
really
so you
don't
meet
know.
up a whole different person.
I made a
bro,
whole.
She did. And guess what I did?
Yeah.
As
I
a
mean,
man,
I
I
just-
gotta respectfully decline that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
I wasn't throwing myself at you.
No,
How are you
you
gonna
weren't.
like
No, you weren't.
decline it?
because I was like, if she looked very beautiful, and I was like, yo, she's really interesting. At the same time, like she said, there was things going on, so I was like, I don't think I should make any forward moves, so I just backed up.
Fair enough.
But you know,
But one more, I guess, to like a following question. Moving on from the beginning, like, what was the process of, like, keep it brief, I guess, but like, when y'all actually decided to be in a relationship? I know you told me that story about like how you thought about it and like
right.
how did that?
So, right before we had Red Cross Club, my baby said, well, now my baby, but back then, my good friend said, hey, let's talk by the vending machine. by the I don't know if you guys know, but there's a vending machine where you can see the football field by, and that's where we usually would come up by, and then we just stop right there, and we let our friends pass by, and it was just the two of us, and you can see that part.
Yeah, and that day I was just like, can I talk to you? And I think like I can still remember like the feeling like how like I mustered up all the courage to just tell him like,
shaking, bro.
Bereket, can we talk? And I remember that I was just like, listen, like it's our senior year and I'm not expecting anything. I'm just letting you know that I like you as a person. Yeah, basically that I was like, if like kind of like maybe like hinted that if you would be interested in like starting something. But if you didn't, it was okay. You know what I mean? Like,
First
Ladies,
off, can we
shoot
give
your
a,
shot.
round of applause.
Ladies, shoot your shot.
honestly, yeah,
Take
because you never
notes.
know.
Take notes.
Yeah,
You
take
never
notes.
know.
This might be for you. This
Yeah,
might be for you,
that's
ladies
the
and
thing, 'cause
gentlemen.
Don't pass up on your blessing.
No, and I think that's the thing because sometimes like, we're so scared, you know. And I don't blame people, you know.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so I talked to him and then
Then
uh-huh.
I looked at her and I said, wow, that's, in my mind, I was like, she's very courageous. You know what I mean? Like I've had
Yes.
certain things like that before, but like it wasn't
Many certain things like that before.
okay. But still, you know, when they confessed, I didn't feel nothing, you know. But for her, I was like, let me pray on it. Because, mind you, right before I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to.
Pray on it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Pray on it.
So
Pray
I
on
told her
things.
I'll come back after a month. And
Hey, how long did you say?
a month.
My man waited 30 days.
That's 4 weeks.
But in all actuality, it took 2 months.
The whole,
The
I don't
whole
know that part.
process.
Because it was on December 5th.
Yeah.
And then
She remembers the day.
And when February, the Candy Grams came. You guys remember Candy Grams?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm going to take my shot at it. Do you want to be my girlfriend? I wrote it down. Rose, candies, and I don't remember the other things. But
by the way, candy grams are like during Valentine's Day. You can
Yeah.
buy it for $1 and send it to someone in the school.
You're interested in.
well, it was more than $1.
It was
It was more than $1 because
How much
I wanted
was
to
it?
impress her. You know,
You
I
wouldn't
saved my
know.
lunch money for that.
We wouldn't know.
We'll talk about that later, but yeah.
Down
no.
bad.
So wait. So you guys' anniversary's on the 14th.
The 14th, yeah.
That's actually crazy.
And this will be the last.
May the Lord do that for y'all.
Comment down happy anniversary too.
Yeah. When y'all see this.
thank you so much.
Thank you for the audience.
I think a couple things
Yeah.
from this that I really took away. Because I'm like, especially if a girl came to, most guys. As a guy, it's like you don't see that often. A girl expressing her emotions, telling you like,
Pretty girl.
pretty good.
Yeah.
So her saying like, I want to be in a relationship with you, I guess kind of hinting that. And you having the self-control to be like, nah, let me pray on it. And not just jumping into it because, a pretty girl was telling you that.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Valley, how was that like month or two when he was praying on it and you were waiting? Because a lot of times people like don't want to wait or like they're eager to find out the answer to a point where like they kind of just like push it away. So how was that like waiting period for you?
Honestly, like, it was fun in the sense of like because he made sure that even that he was praying about it, like we developed a friendship. You know what I mean? Mind you, like we didn't know much about each other. So I think that even though we were not dating, he made sure that
Like, hey, what's up?
yeah, like what's up? Yeah, like
Yeah,
who
don't
are
play in
you?
Ghost, yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, for sure. And I think like that was the fun part because like again, like you have this complete stranger in front of you and you're literally like getting to know everything. Not everything because I'm still getting to know you.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, but it was fun. Yeah, sometimes it was a little frustrating. I do remember like throwing little hints, especially towards Valentine's Day. I was like, Valentine's Day is coming, you know what I mean? But I wasn't expecting it, I wasn't expecting it like it was going to be on the 14th. But yeah, I would see like people talk about it and stuff like that. So low-key, I felt a little sad, but then I was just like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
BK, how was that prayer time for you where you were taking that time to pray?
Yeah.
And how did you know that this is what you wanted to commit to?
That's a very good one. I do this mostly with anything that I do, but I go up to my mom and tell her everything. that I'm going through. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
like me for real.
No.
That's beautiful.
I went and told my mom, and my dad was there too, actually for lunch, and I told them a week after or so, I was like, I'm interested in a relationship. You know, in a Habesha household, relationship before graduating from college is crazy.
D3 textbooks.
First, bro.
Is she gonna distract you from your education?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I'm just gonna tell y'all how it is. I really have feelings for this person, and I want this to go the right route. I've told her I'm gonna pray on it. Please help me pray for it. So don't pray alone as well. I think that's another one. If you pray alone, it's great to pray by yourself, but it's greater to pray in the community as well. So I told my family, and I looked for advices and everything as well during that time. And during that time of prayer, I think I spent most of my time at least building that friendship. Like I said, I didn't ghost her. So I was like, Lord, if you keep leading me in this direction, I'll keep going. But one thing, that's why I said I'll pray on this, because feelings get in the way of a lot of things that we decide. And I was like, if I go through my feelings, I've been hurt before this relationship. I was like, I'm going to end up somewhere I don't want to be again. So I was like, if I'm led by myself, I'm going down. But if I'm led by the Spirit, then I'm going to go the right way. And she was lovely. She was patiently waiting. Like she said, it was not like the most beautiful thing, especially for girls during that age and stuff. Everybody's bringing flowers, teddy bears, you know how it is. Girls used to be extra, like, you know. Yes,
Oh
bro.
my gosh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Lord, man. But yeah, for that reason, it's, but I knew then she was patient and she was loving in that time. So yeah.
Yeah, before that, you guys also, I'm assuming at this time you guys were both Christians.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a little bit of the story, but for everybody else, how do you guys find out you guys were both Christians? And how did that affect you guys' relationship going forward?
Big time, because even in the past, before getting like in a relationship with him, one of the things that my mom always told me is that the first thing that you need to look in a man is that he has to be Christian. You know? Men of God. Not just like someone, I mean, of course, like I didn't understand really at that time what to really be a Christian was, because again, I grew up in a household where like we would go to church every Sunday, you know, the typical Christian story. However, I didn't have like a very strong relationship with God. And the thing is that like, but again, even if my relationship with God wasn't as strong as I would have liked it, I understood that I needed to find someone who had or believed in God and his values were centered in God, right? So yeah, that was for me. And I think like, again, like coming like from a different culture, that was one of the things that I wasn't scared, but like it was a huge relief when he told me that he was Christian, and specifically from the same denomination. So yeah, I mean, you can tell the story if you would like, but yeah, I mean, that's just how we found out is through music, through Christian rap. We like Christian.
Sent you a playlist?
Oh?
I asked her if she knew
Holy Risen.
if she knew 116, if she knew
Lecrae,
if she
Andy
knew
Mineo.
Andy Mineo. She was like, I know them a bit, but I knew NF, she said. And I was like, you know NF? Let alone being a Christian girl, knowing Christian rap, I was like, that's kind of cool. So we kicked it off by that. And when I knew that she liked that, I was like, okay, great. One of the foundations of any relationship, I advise this for anybody as well, is to start a foundation that cannot be shaken. And that's Jesus.
Yeah.
So when we knew that, we were just like, great. One, we don't have trouble with family as well when we bring it up.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
two, also, and this is the major part, is that when we build on this, it's not something we can take away from each other. It's going to be more self-sacrifice. So this sacrificial type of love lasts longer. And even if, let's say, even if it doesn't work out, you part ways feeling at peace and at ease. Not saying, oh, that person did this and that. So, like I said, past relationship had happened already, and this new beginning had to start at least with a firm foundation. That's when we know,
Valeria actually brought up a good topic. I was thinking of it in my head when you said it, but like, obviously, you're Ethiopian.
I'm black.
Yes. Y'all come from two completely different cultures. Similar in some ways, but mostly just different. So how is that like, I guess, assimilating to both of y'all cultures, or at least trying to find like a happy medium where y'all both feel comfortable in a sense?
To be honest with you, we are still even up to this day,
Yeah.
we're still trying to combine both of our cultures because I feel like in the beginning, I think it was because I didn't understand like the impact. It was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, like compromising was like a big thing because I left my church to go to his church, and being the only Hispanic in an Ethiopian church is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like compromising, like that I compromised that, but that's not because. How can I say this? Like, it's not like it's bad. It's different for sure, but that's one of the ways that, you know, that we can say that culture has. I love the Ethiopian culture, honestly. Like, even before I met you, I had Ethiopian friends.
Yeah, you did.
I ate doro with them. I ate like so many things, like, you know, and it was like so good. Like they taught me some Amharic words here and there. So it wasn't something like completely different, you know, completely new. Sorry, that's the word
God
I
was
looking
warming
for.
you up right before.
I think so.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Designed.
I think so. But up to this day, we're still trying to figure that out, even though, like, we know that we're both interested in each other's cultures as much as I am interested in the Ethiopian culture. He's interested in the Salvadorian culture, basically. Yeah.
And now, 5 years later,
Yeah.
look where you guys are at. I guess a question I would have is, what are some of, before we get to like the good things, what are some of the struggles you guys had in a relationship? Like things you didn't think you were gonna fight over, things you didn't like understand were gonna impact you, but they did.
Yeah, I can start
You can.
with my faults and with my shortcomings. Mine was communication. Yeah. Lord have mercy. You don't know. I did not think communication would have been an issue, but I thought just a simple text here and there would suffice for the day at least. But no, it needed to be. It's a good thing. You know? It's not like a bad thing, but it was a constant texting thing, and for her, I was understanding this as well when I'm getting to know her a bit better, that she needed constant texts, like, hey, like, not like abnormal, yeah, just like every day, like, hey, what's going on in the morning, hey, what's happening throughout the day, and what's happening in the evening. For me, I'm like, good morning and good night, you know, like, we see each other in school, it's all enough, blah blah. But even after a while, when we moved, when I moved as well to a different place, it was very hard. Just, I'm more of introverted. I'm very introverted, but when I'm in certain spaces, I'm okay with people. You know what I mean? Especially like at churches, you guys see me. But I don't like to talk on the phone. Don't like to text on the phone. I like being present, but when the distance came about, I couldn't be present as much. So I started communicating less, and it became a big issue. And slowly, I started understanding this is what she loves. And if I say I love her, then these are some things that I need to do as well. My word, her words, my actions, they need to meet, you know. For that reason, that's why I asked.
I feel like it's a TED Talk right here.
Write that down.
That's our audience. Thank you.
I think that was
That was a big thing, yeah.
I think you took it. Like, it's not like we're perfect, but I think that that's the thing that has caused some issues. But I mean, we're working on that, you know, because it's not just about communicating with one another, but it's also like understanding the other person. Understanding the other person. Like, you can say like, I feel this way, but if you don't comprehend what the person is saying, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think like that's something that we're learning, because we have different love languages. We have different ways of expressing our emotions. I am more open with my feelings, and he's very like reserved. He's very avoidant, and I'm sorry, I'm like putting you on there, but like, I'm very like, I want to like solve it right there and then.
Yeah.
And he will be like, no, let's take time, you know? So I think understanding that and having to like get into a middle ground. I think just communication, because sometimes like language, right?
Yeah.
My first language is Spanish. I express everything, even the way I think, is in Spanish a lot of times. So I think like now being able to really tell you sometimes like, you know, what I feel or what it is in the words that I want to use, it has been frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I guess like, how would you guys say like your love languages played a part in this? Understanding each other's like how do, like you said, how do you love her? Like, did you understand like what does she, in what way she likes to be loved in a sense?
Yeah, I did. I mean, love is it's a broad word that we're using, but love is work, right? I think that's one of the best definitions that we see. It's the constant day of waking up and saying, I need to love this person better than I did yesterday. So that means you have to really put an effort. So I put an effort in knowing what she likes. What she likes is quality time and words of affirmation. So I need to take time. That means there needs to be sacrifice from what I'm doing and everything else. So there were times, for example, where I wanted to join a soccer team. I didn't do it because I knew it was going to play a part in our date and we wouldn't have enough time to truly take our time. And I'm a man that jumps here, jumps there. I know even before we started our relationship, I told her, you really want a relationship with me? I'm a busy man. I told her that. And she was like,
Setting boundaries.
No. This is what, me 18? I was just saying that. I did not know even to the level of busyness that I would get today. But I just told her that because I had a lot of goals and a lot of dreams. So I told her like, I'm going to be busy. But knowing that she's not just a person that's going to make me feel okay when I'm available for her, you know. There are going to be some times where I need to take away time from myself, from anything that I'm doing, and show her that she's also valuable to me. I take time into my craft, whatever I'm doing, right? If I'm doing Bible study, I'll take my time. I'll take away everything, push it away, and then give it that time. Same way, I needed to show her she is valuable to me. And if she is valuable, I will take that time away from her. So I prioritized, took that away. And now, every day, every morning, we text each other, everything. But I don't want to take more away from her.
Yeah, his love language is physical touch and words of affirmation. I grew up in a household where physical touch was not like hugs and stuff like that wasn't as usual. So I had to learn that. Like I really had to learn to like give him like, you know, a rub on the back or something, or hold his hand. Or something like that.
You see the. Hey, may God bless you, man. Audience. That's why. Okay. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Wait, no.
Wait a minute.
No, I wanted to be...
All right.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
And so having to learn that, it's been a journey still. Because like sometimes I have to remind myself like, oh yeah, like, you know, like whenever he walks by, like touch his arm, or whenever we're sitting together, like, you know, just, I mean, I know it might like, I don't know, to me it's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, but I know that means so much to him to just like let him know like I'm here, you know what I mean, like. And also like words of affirmation, I think that was a little easier because like that's my first one. So I guess like we were able to communicate with each other. Like words of affirmation is not just like, oh, like, you know, I love you, or you're the best, or the best thing that happened to me. No, it's like, hey, I saw you do this and I appreciate you for this.
Yeah.
I saw that you took time out of your day to bring me chipotle and I appreciate you for this. You know what I mean? It's like recognizing ordinary things. You know what I mean? That's words of affirmation. It's not like constantly telling the person you're the best, you're beautiful, you're this. No, it's like, it's just intentionally saying things to the person, saying things out loud of like the things that the person does.
Yes.
And appreciating them for that.
That's beautiful, but like. We can't relate. That's why I'm saying that. One of my questions is like, you know, when people get in relationships, you know, they often like focus on their own things, but like they try to also like, put each other's times and stuff like that. But how is your spiritual walk, as in when you have to pour into each other, and where you have to also understand where when you guys are facing a problem or an issue, that it's you guys as a team against the issue? Because a lot of times people see a problem and be like, I'm right, like he did this, and then they try to be defensive about it. But how was that moment where you guys have to learn where you have to pour into each other and you have to understand where the problem is communication wise, and just it's you two as a team against the problem, and how did you communicate that?
That's a good one. I don't know. I feel like you watched it.
I'm trying to learn, man.
Live, yeah.
I'm trying to
No,
learn.
honestly, yeah.
I'm taking notes.
No, for real.
Because one thing we learned in this relationship is being right does not qualify you to throw any jabs at each other. Especially because this is a hard thing to really, this is a really hard thing to fathom, especially when you're in a relationship. It's two different people with two different minds, with two different backgrounds coming together to be, to have one mind. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of, clashes, and those clashes will create sparks, and that's going to,
Yeah.
But there is a way to stop that from sparking, just slow sparks, One thing that we understood, God knows how many times we've argued just to say like, oh, I'm right, but I'm right, It's nothing that we hide. It's truly there, because when you feel like you're right, you want to defend. It's your natural response. Yeah. But one thing we understood was, if it was just about being right in a relationship, one will have to constantly push down the other, and the other will have to do the same thing. Just, You're putting each other down. But, that sacrificial love, again, that foundation that we built on Jesus Christ, he had every right to defend himself in the life that he walked. But instead, he showed mercy, he showed love, even compassion to those that were spitting on him, to those that were vilifying him. So that foundation, again, it goes back. I'm like, okay, I might be right. Bereket, you might be right. But it doesn't matter. She's not going to understand you if you tell her you're right. It's not going to, the message is not going to go through, So it needs to be compassion, it needs to be love. At least from my understanding, that's it. She knows it better than I do, so.
Not really, but
Yeah.
I think it's like it's not new, but like I think something that I've learned recently is that, like, how Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. So one of the things that I've learned, that even if I was the one who was done wrong to, like, let's say PK does something that really like makes me feel upset at him, or anything that it is, or if I do something that upsets him and I know it, it doesn't matter what okay, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what it is, because I would be a hypocrite, but
Right,
what I'm trying to say is that, like, right away ask for forgiveness, because I feel like it is so important to let the other person know that, yes, like, whatever you did upset me, but I love you more than whatever it is that we're facing. And I feel like that has been something that we have implemented recently. And this is why I'm saying, like, we're still learning. Even though we have 5 years, bro, I'm telling you, like, we haven't been, like, the most perfect couple, but, like, it's, like, until, like, recent years that we have really, like, understood this, and we're like, okay, yeah, like, we're doing this, and we're capable of doing this,
Yeah.
So I feel like being humble, like, humbling yourself, like, it doesn't matter your pride, because your pride gets on the way, you know what I mean? And you know you're right. You know that you're like, you were wrong for doing this to me. You knew this, and that, and you still did it. But at the same time, just being, like, humble and merciful, you know what I mean? Because we are shown that constantly. So I think.
Yes. I guess a big question I have is, most people who watch our podcast, they're younger, just, you guys know you guys are really young.
Yeah.
In a world that, is constantly spewing, red pill, they're telling you, man, from your point of view, man should be rich, focus on goals, just
shouldn't be tied down.
be like the best you. And, you know, for women, it's telling you,
City
it's all
girls.
about you. Put yourself on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And then these people, like people our age and younger, grow up with this idol of a relationship, but they don't even have like a genuine understanding of what it is to be a man or a woman. I guess for them, just for people, anyone, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. People feel lonely around this time because they don't want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But before they're even in one, they don't understand what it is to be a man or a woman, like actually.
That's true.
Could you speak on that for both of y'all? One of you?
Wow, yeah. I'll tell you. We're gonna keep going back to the foundation because this is only gonna make sense when the foundation is built on that. Because again, we don't need to be philosophical or anything like that. But if that foundation is not founded on something that has already asserted the truth, meaning God said man and woman. Nowadays, you know, there could be a lot of controversy stuff. I will save that. I will save that for now, so you guys don't get demonetized.
Oh my gosh.
But no, for that sake, I'm just gonna say like the gospel, the mystery of the gospel is revealed in marriage in a lot of ways. Again, that goes back to the sacrifice part. And this thing just does not make sense if it's not founded on the gospel. And this is what I mean. If I see her and I don't see her as valuable as God sees her as valuable, if I don't see her as his child, as his daughter, I'm never going to treat her better than anything. Christ loves her better than me. So what I need to do is submit under Christ. Yeah, this is even before marriage. This is what we need to do even in our single lives. You know what I mean?
That's one thing.
Yeah, not even before we get into marriage. We need to submit under Christ. There needs to be an authority over our head. If we put ourselves as authorities, of course, whenever we're right, we're going to say we're right. And that's it. End of story. But if we say, no, Jesus Christ did this. If we keep going back to the gospel, we say, wow, God did not only make a woman for a man because he was alone. It was also to show him that love that's exclusive between him and him alone. So it was going to be Adam and Eve like this, one, right? So for that same reason, God is jealous because he has an exclusive love with his people, with his children. So in the same sense, when I look at her, God is so zealous for her as well. He loves her so much. So if I don't treat her the way that God would want me to treat her, then I have already not submitted to Christ. I have not put myself into authority. So I see, this is going a little bit too much off the thing, but just to say, you need an understanding of the gospel before even going into a relationship. So your first spouse, I would say, just to give you guys a picture, is truly Jesus. Even as men as we are, right? We are still part of the church, which is the bride of Christ, right? And he's the groom. So we need to understand that, yes, it's good to chase your goals. Yes, it's good to go and get out what you need to get out. But if it's going to cost you, your discipleship, if it's going to not allow you to deny yourself at first, and if it's going to affirm other things, then you've already lost yourself. That's the whole meaning. That's the whole purpose of you being created. If you knock out that foundation, it's going to be washed away, right? Those two houses that we were just talking about recently. But yeah, at least I'm giving more the biblical answer to maybe you can give them more.
I think it's because it's not just you giving a biblical answer. I think it's the answer because that's so important to understand before anyone gets into a relationship, because if we don't really understand love, because like you said earlier, it's a broad word, it's so difficult to understand love if we only think that the meaning of love is what society tells us what it is, if that makes sense. Because it wasn't until one Sunday we were in Bible study, we were discussing from 1 John love, right? And I understood what love is, and that's sacrifice, that sacrificial love, that unconditional love that doesn't expect anything in return. But if we're in a society that is constantly telling us like, girl, if he doesn't give you this, if he doesn't do this, he doesn't love you. So I think like a lot of times people just get like blinded by that. So, or vice versa, like with the guy and the girl, like, so I think like understanding the real meaning of love, which can only be found in the Word of God.
Yeah.
And it's not for us to just sound spiritual and everything, but I wish we had known this before we started dating, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning, like I grew up in a Christian household and everything, but it wasn't like, the spark wasn't there, so I didn't understand much. So I think, like, I think that's the answer. Like, there's nothing else, like, you know, if we want to talk about being more practical, it's like, like choosing and being intentional with your relationship with God. Because, like, your relationship with God is the same as your relationship with another significant person. Like, you put a lot of time. It takes time, discipline, effort. You know what I mean? So if you don't have that already with God, you're not going to be able to have the true thing with a person.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw an example once also for you guys. I think you guys might have seen this as like a triangle.
Yeah.
And God is on top. And the closer you get to God, the closer you get to each other. But the further you get away from God, the further you get away from each other. And that's so true, because human wisdom makes everything blurry. We have things that we see, it's not as it seems. The world will tell you, oh, don't get tied down. All of the things that is being spewed out has a root, and that root is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being left alone, fear of this. But God's truth is clear. It's so clear and it's freeing. That's why I'm saying, I'm giving my all. And she's giving her all. At this stage of our relationship, don't give your all in, you know, first 2
years.
days. But at least, you know, if you're in that state, giving our all really also relieves me of that pain of, oh, I could have done so much. No, I gave my all. I gave what Jesus would give, his all. So, yeah, I mean, God's truth is very clear. You know that,
That's so beautiful. I was thinking, like, you know, I was reflecting, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, as a man who is interested into getting in a relationship in the future, right? And looking for a spouse that, you know, that can, you know, be your right hand man, you know, as Psalms 131 says, you know. It's very difficult, huh? What?
A right hand man.
No, I'm mad at my fault. No, I was thinking like, man, I'm about to mess this up. But I was like, no, but I was thinking like, you know, there's, as in your singleness, there's a lot of things that people will say like you need to work on, right? You need to improve yourself on. Yeah, you need to like prioritize yourself, or like always be an excuse, be like, oh, I'm working on myself. You know what I mean? So, how is it for you as someone who is in a relationship that is, I don't want to say working on himself in the progress of being in a relationship, but having to grow the fruit of like self-control and gentleness and these things as Christ, you know, the spirit of the
Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So, how is that for you? Like as a man, where you have to, you know, like have, you know, self-control and go on about it.
That's a very good question. Like you said, a lot of people make the excuse. I'm building on myself, I'm doing this and that. Sometimes it's not an excuse. Sometimes it's genuine. Truly, some people do need time to take away, you know. No offense. I'm just saying, you know, they definitely do. Because there's a lot of healing that needs to take place, or else, you know, there's going to be more hurt and more bleeding out into a different relationship. Sometimes, you know, you bring a lot of baggage from your old relationship into a new one. Definitely.
Or traumas, childhood traumas as well.
My gosh, there's many relationships that we have heard, that we have talked to, a lot of people that we've, you know, engaged in, where there is a lot of hurt, where they come from. And there's more other reasons as well. But there's always also that one qualifier thing. It's because you can never reach that perfection, even in a relationship. I'm still trying to be a better person, you know, within her. But there are, of course, fundamental things that you can take care of. And those fundamental things are, of course, understanding who God is. Understanding the gospel. I'm always going to bring it back to the So it's always going to be that.
Yeah.
Lay that foundation. Yes, you know that? Okay, great. Now more like practical stuff, right? Into your life. You need to have a goal. Before you get into a relationship, if you're like, oh, I'm goalless, it's a blind man getting into a relationship, trying to figure out things as they go. You're going to hold somebody actually more back than anything. So you need to be engaged in whatever it is that you have, or if you don't have something, find something, a hobby or a goal in your life. I don't know what it is that it is in you know my life. I'll tell you, I wanted to become a preacher in the future, in the spiritual stuff, but I also wanted to go to law school. So what I needed to do was finish and graduate. So I told her, hey baby, we can be together, but I'm not going to propose to you until we graduate and I get a job. I told her that. I didn't get a job. I still proposed because I had hoped I would get a job, and it worked out.
Amen.
Amen.
The Lord provides.
Amen.
The Lord
Exactly.
provides.
Exactly. So, you know, have those goals and boundaries set in the first place. Another thing I'm forced to say when you were talking about self-control and everything like that is to always know not to be alone too much. You can be private in public. That's the best thing you can have, especially as teenagers. You know, if there are teenagers watching this, if there are young adults watching this, it could even be adults, honestly, but usually adults get married like after 6 months of meeting and stuff. You know, we didn't have that kind of leisure. We waited 5 years because of, you know, we wanted to wait and have something built on that, but just be private in public. That's for self-control at least, you know.
Yeah.
Just have people around you, but just engage into that intimate moment. For me as a man, that's what helped me. As a woman?
Okay.
You like to answer?
I mean, I guess. I think he said everything, honestly. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
ask her a question, please.
No, I think it was great.
Yeah.
I have a question I think both of you guys can answer. It's, we know relationships are not easy. You know, we talk. You touched up both of y'all touched up on this a little bit. It's about sacrifices that you have to make for each other.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing maybe? I know you moved farther away. That had a little, you know, it was definitely like something in the way of your relationships. What are some of the the obstacles that you faced, and the sacrifice that you had to make to overcome that obstacle? Individually, together.
Man, so just to give a little context, like he used to leave 10 minutes away from where I was.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes compared to 30 and 40 minutes, it's like huge. So man, I was like, I better get my stuff together and get my license so I can like drive. And that really like pushed me to like, you know what I mean, to be like, okay, like I need to also make sacrifices because he cannot be the only one driving, coming down to where I am, going up. So, you know, that's that. But also I think like I played a part in like understanding that it wasn't going to be how it was like in the beginning of the relationship, because we're growing, we're changing, and we are like constantly like our lives are changing. Like we're young adults. I understood that. Like, you know, the BK and Vale that met when they were 18 are not the same BK and Vale that back then were 20. You know what I mean? It's crazy because like now like we're about to be 24.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna look. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. That's so crazy.
My fault. It came out. My fault. I apologize.
Yeah, but like,
24 years old.
dude, crazy. But I think it's like some of the challenges. Yes, it was the distance and stuff like that, and also because we used to spend a lot of time together.
Yes.
We did almost everything together, from going to the same classes. You know what I mean?
We walked together.
We walked together to
We
school.
take the 16 together.
All of that, you know, it was
Wow.
part of you know, stuff like that. It was like stuff that we did and stuff. So that was a huge change from seeing each other every single day to seeing each other once a week.
Yeah.
And it was like so like instant. Like I don't know. Yes, like you know, like it was like I would like spend every single hour with you, and then it's like, dude, it was just on the
Do you
phone.
think that made you like miss him more?
I
Yeah, I was
did.
gonna ask. Yes,
I did, and honestly, like, I think it just pushed me to be like, because I didn't want to. It was so uncomfortable, you know what I mean, to like not have him with me.
Yeah, no.
But it just pushed me to understand, because again, like, or I guess the first thing that I had to do was accept that it wasn't what I would have liked, because I know that they'd really try to look for houses around where I am. But you know, it was God's
Lovely
plan.
parents.
No. But yeah, no, we really
Yeah.
tried to look around Silver Spring.
I know
It's
they really, but
expensive.
Silver Spring is expensive.
Oakland, the one in Oakland, the one in Oakland.
California,
Yeah, the one in California.
Nah,
You
but
need to stop. You're the one.
I know, I'm the one throwing it out. Okay, I'll give you guys 2
Hey,
events.
every time you say
Hey, bro, you realize you said it, right?
Yeah.
You realize you said.
But yeah, no, I'll give you guys two
Yeah.
events. 2 events. 2 events of sacrifices. One, which I love to tell because how sweet it ended up being. But I used to tell her this time. She asked me, "Hey, can you tell me that story again?" You know, 'cause, but whenever we were in high school, you get lunch money. I got reduced money back then, but it was I'm not rich, y'all. But I got like $5 or something for the whole week. So it was like, yeah.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean $5 for the whole week?
So it was like
parents or
$1.
your school?
No, the school didn't give me anything. The school gave me reduced money,
Yeah.
but my dad used to give me $5.
So
Okay.
So it'd be enough for lunch money,
Okay.
but it wouldn't be enough for anything else. So my dad was smart with it too. But he was like, okay, that's what and I was thankful. You know, it's not like oh, please help me type of story. But it was more like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But I ended up, getting into a relationship. And, when you get into a relationship, you see other relationships. Not that you should compare, but you want to do more for your lady. Or, you want to do more for your man. It's just that, instinct in me. I'm like, okay, how much is Chipotle? Chipotle back then was like 7 something.
The chicken bowl, yeah.
Yeah, with the whole chicken bowl, everything. In Cali, $7 probably back then.
High tax too,
High
Tax
tax.
is
No,
crazy.
crazy
Ridiculous.
stuff. Yeah, ridiculous.
So you saved up. I saved up for a good amount of weeks, and it was kind of like
wait, you didn't eat for a couple of weeks?
yeah, no. I was more of like
Quiet, bro.
Did you bring lunch from home or you just didn't? Eat?
Nah, I just wait until the end of the day to eat.
Wait, you got $5 a week, right?
Yeah,
So you waited 2 weeks.
I waited longer than 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah. But graciously, my friends were also like always like, hey, do you want to eat some, with me? And I'm like,
They'll be friends right there.
yeah, they'll be friends back then. So shout out to y'all who helped me during that lunchtime. But then I saved up that money and then we got our Chipotle date. That's the kind of small sacrifices that you make. But
Just
it's
to show,
lovely.
yeah.
It's
That's
lovely.
not small.
I know,
To
I
make a
know.
grown man cry.
I just wanted to eat with her and in a different setting. And I think
That was actually our first date.
our first date.
Yeah.
Our first date by the
Yeah.
park.
I know.
California.
In California.
I'm gonna say that park, but
They grow up so fast.
I think,
Wow.
yeah, the second one was when we were about to move. I wanted to get my license. I wanted to be, come on, girl. I can take you on a date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my car. I'm gonna get my whip. So I got my license. Well, actually, I didn't get my license yet, but I saved up money. I was going to Lido's, like 3 buses. Back then it was, I can't say the name, but it was so far 3 buses. And then she was like, hey, I'm working at this so-and-so place. Why don't you come and join me here? So I joined her there, saved up a little rack, and there was like 2 racks. I bought like a Chevy Cruze from Baltimore.
Where's that at?
I need to say that.
Nevada.
So it had a bad
I
engine.
don't
It
know.
had a bad engine and everything, but it ran for a while. So I was like,
Oh
what?
my
I'll take that car.
gosh.
music up,
Yeah.
It was.
So you'd hear a lot of things and everything, but it was good. So save that money, and then whenever I moved here, I even drove. Self-incriminating? No, right? can't do that.
Don't do
But
that.
yeah, so I just drove with my license, and I went to her whenever I'd visit her. And when I came here, it was easier for me to move and everything too. So it's good. Have a goal, save that money, and then now
Yeah.
here we are.
Man didn't eat.
Oh, I know.
No, but my last question is,
Yeah.
one of the things Valley brought out was that you guys were spending so much time together, right? And you guys had a lot of time together. How did you? A lot of people would say oh, I'm so tired of that person, or they'll get to the point where like, I'm seeing so much of that person. It's like, not catch a break, but it's
Right.
like I need my own time as well. So how did you guys balance that time out where you guys, didn't burn each other out, but you guys were also spending time with each other?
That's a good question, because I did know that BK liked his own space. Like he had that was one of the things that he did tell me from the beginning. And again, just kind of like accepting that in order for us to, I don't know how to explain it, like I guess function, we have to kind of like accept that there's going to be things that we're going to have to do even though we don't like them.
Right.
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 I didn't like to spend time apart from him, but I understood that once he got home and he let me know, it was like, okay, that's his personal time. You know what I mean? So he can just like read or whatever it is that you did at home. So, it was just understanding that there are certain things that we're not going to like, because we still need that space. It's so important to have that space, because I think you become codependent if you start spending so much time and rely so much on your person, which is not bad. But when you become codependent, that's not healthy. Yeah. That's really like, and I was codependent. Like it got to a point that I couldn't do things without him. And then I realized, and I was like, do I really want to be like this? You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to go to a place and feel like I cannot go and do it because VK is not with me, So, yeah, I mean, I think it's just like realizing that there's going to be those boundaries, that we have to set. I didn't like that word, boundaries. It's just like, ugh, you know what I mean? What are you needing space for? You know what I mean? But, I think it's just understanding that in order for us to function, we need to separate each other for a little bit and then come back again. It wasn't like that bad. It was just like you would just need like a couple of hours to do your homework. And I also pushed me to do my homework as well and be like, okay, I have to do my things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I guess my last question would be,
What, do you want to answer?
No, she said it all. No.
I guess for people who are watching, who are in their single season, would there be any tips you would give to them, and like things that they should be working on, focusing on?
It's a tough one.
Nah, that's a good one.
Be careful what you said.
Right. I'm like, what can, but no, in all honesty, what you could be working on is definitely checking your surroundings. One of the things. I can say many other things, but let me just keep it simple, especially for all audiences that you can understand this. It's just checking who you are with, who you spend time with, what you spend time doing,
Yes.
and what you allow to enter, right?
Yes.
The entertainment, right? Whatever's entering into your body, whatever you're allowing these things to do. And it's usually a reflection of your surroundings. So what are you allowing to corrupt, that good character? What kind of bad morals? I mean, bad people, or, a lot of things that we do, we know that they're bad. Actually, we are aware when they're self-destruction, that we do these things, but we're like, oh, it's fine, everything. But just to check, who is it that you are spending time with? What are you spending time doing? And I think when you figure these things out, you will have time to understand and realize the kind of person you are. Because usually you come shaped and molded by your environment so much and that's why a lot of people leave church. That's why a lot of people don't last in relationships, because they look at a relationship to satisfy and gratify themselves. But when it actually is seen in a relationship, you're actually supposed to surrender yourself and deny yourself. So it's countercultural. Our culture is going to tell you, go find your happiness in this thing. No, 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 no. Surrender yourself under this thing. Then happiness can be a byproduct. Happiness is not what is promised when you get into a relationship.
Yes.
If that's all you're looking for, trust me, you might get it. You might be lucky, right? Temporarily. But what you need is joy, not happiness. And happiness is temporary. It's seasonal. But joy, everlasting, you know? And that's when you check your surrounding. You say, okay, I need to build a firm foundation. And that's when you clear out all the noises and literally just hear to the shepherd, you know? When the shepherd calls, you will understand. When the shepherd says something, you will know. But the noises around you, they can't even allow you to do those things. So please check your surroundings. Who are you spending time? Who's your best friend? Who's your group?
Yeah.
Sometimes your group keeps you away from a good relationship. You know, they really do. No, but
I love my friends. I love y'all.
no, seriously, I won't talk for anything else, but let's just check.
You know, it's exactly, not exactly, but it's what I was going to say because
Because I love you.
I think
Because we
like,
think alike.
no, I think it's because like, in one of the instances with when Jesus was speaking with the crowds after speaking with the Pharisees, he told them that anything that comes out of the man's mouth is what is in the heart. So we are what we consume, like what Bereket was saying. We are what we consume, and I think that it is so important to be aware of what are the things that make us choose or keep us away from righteousness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it all starts in singleness. That's the season. Yes, of course, like, I think, like, there's so much pressure, like, that society puts on the single people, especially, like, the Christian community. Like, you have to focus on your relationship with God, this and that, as if it's, like, a checklist that you have to follow. But I think it's just simple as guarding your heart. And it's, like, making sure that you understand what are the things that keep you away from God. And what are the things that are making you be sinful and not righteous? And then everything else will follow, you know?
Seek first the kingdom of God and everything else.
And what is in your heart
Yes.
will be reflected in what is outside. You attract what you are. If you are over here, like, not being disciplined or not, like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say much, but, like, you know, you attract what you are. And, yeah. Basically.
Hey, this has been an amazing conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
Before we end it off, I just wanted to give us a brief, I guess, talk about what's coming up for you guys in the future.
Yeah.
What do you have to look forward to?
Okay.
I'm excited, more excited than my baby.
Why?
Because the wedding.
What?
No, but we have a wedding.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
It's like our ministry's wedding. You've at this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's no longer just us two. You know, it's everybody, honestly, and involved. And in this journey, we also are looking to, look into our marriage life.
Yeah.
We are taking marriage classes, and we are also going to take classes on how to buy. Well, not how to buy, but first-time home buyers and all that stuff. What else are we looking for?
I guess just
Your
life. Yeah, like my master's and his. Yes.
Educated,
Education woman.
educated woman.
Educated woman. Wow.
And yeah, he is also trying to apply for the LSAT. LSAT?
Yeah.
LSAT.
Another round.
Yes. So yeah, hopefully like go to law school and everything.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, there's so many exciting things that are coming. So, but we're just taking it one day at a time to not feel overwhelmed, because just having a wedding can be a little overwhelming sometimes. But yeah,
God provides.
amen.
Yes, He does.
God bless you guys.
God
I
bless.
appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, keep up with us, as the months go by. We will definitely be recording their wedding, have some content for you guys.
For sure.
Leave it in the comments if y'all would like a part 2.
Yeah,
we'd love to see
definitely. Y'all gonna come back.
For sure.
We love you guys.
Stop flying.
Yeah, maybe.
California.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
We might do a 1-year update. Next year maybe.
Yeah, no.
But leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. Put in the comments what you guys want to talk about in the next video if you want them back.
If you want them back, they don't have a choice.
Doing podcasts, we're out.